Deshaun Foster is having trouble at UCLA right now. It's his second year on the job, and from last week's disaster, and that was a disaster against Utah last week, it doesn't look like there are many teams on the schedule the Bruins look capable of beating. Been 6 losing seasons at UCLA in the last 9 years. Chip Kelly quit as the head coach to become an offensive coordinator again at the college level. That's as red flag gets for a program. When your head coach is like, nah, I'd rather be an OC somewhere else and not be my own boss than take this program. Can they win in Las Vegas on Saturday against UNLV? Let's talk about it. Teddy covers, wagertalk.com with a big game breakdown and looking at my Odds Logic live odds screen. The Bruins -2.5 / -3 here in Vegas against the UNLV running Rebels. Total 53 / 53.5, the prevailing number. And again, this is a Bruins team. They started 1-5 last year, and then they stole this 3 straight weeks. They kind of stole tight games. Rutgers, Nebraska, Iowa to avoid a true disaster season. But it still was a losing year for Deshaun Foster and company. Last week's game against Utah as disaster as disaster gets, non-competitive in defeat. We already know about Nico Yamaleva, and how he left Tennessee and the bad blood that he left there with the contract dispute, questions about his character, etc., etc. And one thing that was interesting, UCLA all closed practices this fall. All right, Deshaun Foster didn't let the media in on anything, and reporters never knew how much or how bad UCLA was going to be. And the LA reporters are all talking about it this week. When you read the local papers, they're like, yeah, well, now we see why Deshaun Foster didn't want us to see what was going on. Obviously, on Saturday night, in late night West Coast action, the Bruins looked pretty inept in that ball game, both sides of the football. So what happened? UCLA defense missed a ton of tackles. They could not put any pressure on Devin Dampier. Dampier only had 4 incompletes in 25 attempts. He had all day to throw. Utah, 492 yards of total offense, 14 of 17 on third downs. And that's one that absolutely stands out. They were in third and short all day, and they were able to convert those third and shorts all day. And we'll give Utah credit, but some of that has to do with UCLA. You know, Nico completed 11 out of 22, a $136, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. It wasn't pretty. The offense didn't work. Sacked 4 times in that ball game. The running game didn't work. You know, Jalen Berger, Javian Thomas, Anthony Woods combined 37 yards on the ground, 2.5 yards per carry. You know, we saw drop passes, you know, missed tackles. It was ugly, you know. Yamaleva, quote, all self-inflicted. You know, we didn't execute well tonight. You know, Deshaun Foster, after the game, quote, we just got to come back in, regroup, and really just grade yourself and be hard on yourself. This isn't going to be easy, and you can't just go back there and point the finger at other people. You've really got to see, what did I do to help this team? They have New Mexico at home next week. They'll be double-digit chalk in that ball game. I mean, they can't start 0-3, can they? There's so much talent on this team. You grade out UCLA, you're like, wow. You know, Foster can recruit. You know, there's NIL money here. But one thing that did stand out to me was that the locker room after the game, you know, Deshaun Foster's quote, they understand we've got to stay together and we can't splinter. We are a team. We built this brotherhood over the last few months, and I think that they're disappointed in what happened, the outcome of this game, but they're ready to work and stay together and move forward. Nico, quote, the only way up is up from here. We've got to continue to get better. So at least UCLA's saying the right things in that sense of not a team that's fracturing in the locker room in week 1. And I believe that. You know, we could see, if they lose this game, it could be different. But this is a team that played terribly the first week, that has a chance to be better, and they may be facing the right opponent. Dan Mullen's UNLV coaching debut. Let's talk about it in a minute. First, I want to ask you guys a simple favor. If you like these videos, hit that like button. Thank you. Problem solved. The likes make all the difference for the YouTube algorithm. So we appreciate the likes very much. Comment below. Tell me what you think about this ballgame. It's okay to disagree with me. I won't be mad at you. It takes both sides to have a betting marketplace. So like, comment, and of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Wager Talk YouTube channel. You get instant alerts every time these videos go live. I know this is a college football video. I got to talk a little NFL. Obviously, NFL Sunday, week 1 this week. My NFL week 1 track record is pretty darn good. 30-11, 73% over the last 10 years in week 1 action. 8-2, 80% with my NFL 5% big ticket reports in week 1 action. Number 1 all time at Wager Talk with my NFL 5-star big ticket reports any week of the season. So the track record's there, clearly. And I'm locked and loaded for this weekend. Check out my page, wt.buzz/TC, or just visit wagertalk.com to get on board. We got a great deal right now. 7 days, $77, all access pass. Bargain priced. Check it out. Again, wt.buzz/TC, or just visit wagertalk.com. So, week 1 of the season, UNLV struggled. They had to rally in the fourth quarter to get past an FCS squad. And the market's very worried. And, of course, it's the UNLV team with a lot of new coach and a ton of new faces. Mullen, quote, "I guess I'll sound crazy, but I thought the film was better than I expected it to look." And defense coordinator Paul Gunther said the same thing, even after they gave up 555 total yards in the opener. And last week against Sam Houston, they were much better. No question. They were up 31-7 going in the fourth, and it was kind of garbage time. I wouldn't worry about the final yardage numbers for that ball game either, because the Rebels played a little prevent defense. But they were comfortably in control. But you can't underestimate how inexperienced this UNLV roster is. All right, they have 2 first-string players on offense who had started a game before this season at the FBS level. It's a similar story on defense, special teams. There's a ton of inexperience. Now, the talent level's there for the Rebels, but here's a quote from center Reed Williams. Quote, "I think a new team like this, the chemistry's still building. I definitely think as an offense we're getting closer, and as this week we move forward to know what to fix and where to improve." Last year, UNLV had the best Rebels team that I've seen in my 25 football seasons in Las Vegas. Wasn't close. Barry Odom had that squad rolling. And I think Dan Mullen may get them there. But this is a big ask for this inexperienced UNLV team to take on a UCLA squad that is loaded with talent. I know they were awful last week, extra motivator. Vegas playing in an NFL stadium, that's certainly a motivator for UCLA. There's too much talent on this Bruins squad. There's not enough togetherness or continuity for the Rebels. And this scenario, I'll be perfectly honest, I'm fascinated by this ballgame. I will be watching this contest start to finish because this feels like these are 2 programs headed in opposite directions, with UCLA going down and UNLV going up. But for this week, the bet here, again, I get it. Programs go in the wrong direction. You don't necessarily want the program going in the wrong direction and lay points to them on the road. But this week, the play is UCLA. If UCLA loses this one, they're a fade only moving forward until proven otherwise. But the spot and the situation does favor the Bruins here a fair bit. And if I'm playing, I'm laying. Appreciate those likes. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate the comments. Check out wt.buzz/TC for my homepage to get on board with all the plays this weekend and beyond. 7 days, $77 all-access pass available right now at wagertalk.com. And, of course, stay tuned right here on this channel for more quality videos from the Wager Talk team. Thanks for watching, and best of luck with all your bets. Cheers.